All right, I am running through arm bars this week. We're going to look at both offense and defense. The first arm bar we're going to start with is going to be one from closed guard, bottom position. It's kind of like a standard version of utilizing the top lock to attack the arm from bottom position. So I have Trey here. He's going to jump into my closed guard, and I'm going to throw two grip variations. One's going to be gi specific, where we make grips on the jacket, and the other one's going to be a little bit more no gi specific that I've really been liking. So for the gi, I'm going to have Trey grab a hold of my lapels, and the other hand's going to be down here by the pocket. And first thing we're going to look to do is make a cross sleeve grip, 4 fingers in the bottom of the sleeve. I can kind of start to challenge this grip by kind of just like going pinky side of the knuckles and pushing this to the inside, because ultimately, no matter what I do, when I get this closed guard wrapped up around the top of Trey's shoulders, I need his elbow on the inside of my hip point right here. Right? So if it's starting to flare out, or if his arm is down on the ground, this arm bar is just not going to work. So this is going to be kind of a prerequisite to this submission. So I'm pulling it up and across, I'm forcing his knuckles over, and then my left hand here is going to go across nice and deep where my thumb points around the ear. And now I can use my knees and my elbow to start to break the posture down. Once I have posture broken down, I'm going to walk my legs up into the top lock position. So I can jump my legs up, but I definitely prefer walking my legs slowly up and around the shoulders until my left calf here is on the back side of the shoulder, and I go left foot on top of right? So that locks me in place nice and tight. All the while, my grip here is going to remain the same. This is the biggest key to this submission here, this attack, is when I go to adjust. When I have my top lock in place, the whole time I'm pinching my knees together and my hips are elevated off the ground. It's a really subtle thing as I just pinch my knees and lift, right? I raise my body like just maybe like a 1/4 of an inch off the ground, but that creates a tremendous amount of pressure, and it also forces this elbow to be wedged against my pelvis. So when I lift my hips, it becomes really hard for Trey to just rip his arm free, right? So with my hips on the ground here, it's really easy for him to do that, but as I keep my elbows ripping apart in opposite directions, I pinch my knees together and I lift my hips up. Now he's kind of stuck. Now comes the biggest key. When I go to adjust to get my left leg around Trey's face, I'm going to bring my right foot to the top of the head and I point my left foot down to the ground, almost like I'm trying to lock up a triangle, right? I'm literally trying to touch my foot to Trey's head, and then I throw my left leg around. Now I bring my hands to the end of the lever, knuckles to knuckles, pinch my knees together, lift my hips up, finish the armbar how you normally do. So that's my gi variation of that. Go cross sleeve and then cross collar. A no gi variation that I prefer is, obviously I can't make grips on the jacket, so instead I'm going to come wrist grip with my left hand and far side elbow with my right, and I'm just going to get this arm tracking across my body as far as I can get it. It's going to be there for a second if I can get it across, but I know that Trey's going to start to try to rip his elbow past my center line. So as soon as I get this arm here kind of tangled up, my left hand's going to come around the far side, and I'm going to try to pull his ear down into his bicep. Now that kind of does the same wedging thing that we did in the gi variation of this, and it fixes his arm in place so I can start to see that opportunity to walk my legs up into the top lock. Once I've got this top lock position, I walk my hand to the other side, set a cross face, and my legs are going to adjust the exact same way, where I point my foot to his head, I adjust my left leg to the ground, and I feed his head through my cross face so this leg can kind of shave Trey's head. And then the finishing mechanics are just the same. I walk the hands back, right? Cover my knuckles with my right hand, heels down, knees pinched, hips up, and finish. So again, just 2 variations here of the exact same submission. We're using that top lock, walking our closed guard up the body, so it becomes really hard for our opponent to posture up and out of the submission. Once again, the focus is going to be on arm bars, and first and foremost, arm bar from closed guard.